In this video, we're going to be looking at solving linear equations with four terms in them. That is, we've got x's on both sides of the equal sign. The trick is to turn this into an equation where we only have x's on one side of the equal sign. And to do that, we can use the same logic that we used previously, but this time with the x's. So if you look here, I've got an x on one side and a 3x on the other side. So by subtracting x from both sides of the equal sign, I'm left with 2x plus 4 on the left-hand side and just negative 7 on the right-hand side. Now what you will see is to solve that, we just solve that exactly the same way that we've done with the previous videos. So subtract 4 from both sides and then divide it by 2, and there we have our answer. Another example, same thing. Can we solve 3x minus 8 equals 7x plus 14? Now this time, if you look, we've got more x's on the right-hand side than the left-hand side. So the trick is going to be here to eliminate the x's from the left-hand side. And I can do that by subtracting 3x from both sides of the equal sign. That's going to leave me with negative 8 is equal to 4x plus 14. And now we've got an equation that we solve in the same way as previously. So subtracting 14 from both sides and then dividing both sides by 4. And in the final equation, again, is exactly the same principle as previously. We look at the x's where we've got the most x's. Now you've got to be careful with this one because actually I've got a negative 6x on the left and a plus 5x on the right. So the ones I've got to get rid of is the smallest amount, which is a negative 6x, and I can do that by adding 6x to both sides. So going through the process here, we end up with 11x on the right hand side. Now we've got our usual type of equation. Subtract 2 from both sides and then divide by 11, and we can find out what x is going to equal. So now we're going to introduce brackets into our four-term equations. So just like before, here's an expression. We've got one bracket on the left-hand side. So the trick is we're going to expand the bracket out just like we've done previously. So 3 lots of 2x is 6x, 3 lots of 4 is 12. That equals 5x minus 3. So now our usual thing, we're going to subtract 5x from both sides. So x plus 12 equals negative 3. Now we're going to subtract 12 from both sides. And we get x equals negative 15. And we don't have to go any further with that. We finished that one. Second example. Okay, so this time we've got brackets on both sides of the equal sign. But all we're going to do is expand both brackets out, just like we've done previously. So 3 lots of 2x is 6x, 3 lots of negative 3 is negative 9, 4 lots of 3x is 12x, 4 lots of 1 is 4. Most x is on the right hand side, so we're going to take away 6x from the left hand side and the right hand side this time. So negative 9 equals 6x plus 4. Subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 13 is going to equal to 6x, and divide both sides by 6. So x equals negative 13 over 6. So this example, this time we're going to have negative x's, okay, but still the same thing. Expand out the brackets just like we've done every single time. So multiply everything by 3 on the left hand side, and everything by 2 on the right hand side. Now looking at this one, we've got a negative 12x on the left and a 4x on the right. So the smallest amount is actually the negative 12x. So we're going to add 12x to both sides. Negative 12x plus 12x is nothing, so we've got rid of them. And on the right hand side we've got 16x plus 6. Now we subtract 6 from both sides, so 9 is equal to 16x, and we divide by 16.